What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
Great.
Good.
We good. We good. We good.
We good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Remedy Room. I'm your co-host, Arthur, aka Mr. Wright, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host, Mr. Perspective,
Hey man.
Carlos.
What up, people?
My lovely wife, the First Lady, Akia.
What's up? We're back.
Oh, wait.
We're back.
Hey.
The prop.
She's just gonna put it down like that.
She gonna
I
put it
did.
down. And if you're thinking about apologizing, please don't. She doesn't want to hear it. Miss Unapologetic herself, Miss Shamika.
Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Swoop. Okay, Swoop.
Okay.
Hey,
Come on now.
every time that door opens in the remedy room, I get a little nervous because I don't know where it's leading, but hopefully it's leading to a good place.
Stairway to heaven.
What makes you think about that?
I don't know. It's just scary because the light, it say don't go into the light or go into the light, and it's just light at the end of the tunnel. Don't
Does it
mind.
feel like you feel like that's Jesus saying, "Come unto me"?
Come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon. Okay. Listen. Okay. Hey guys, can y'all believe this episode 7?
Oh, 7
Is
is the
it?
number of
Oh, yeah.
completion.
Hey,
It's episode 7, y'all.
7's my favorite number, actually.
congratulations, guys.
Yeah,
We
that's awesome.
made it. Mama, I made it. Hey, I'm thinking about colorism.
Mm.
What y'all
Like-
think about that?
Like the crime box.
I used to marvel
Over what?
at the people that had the 64 crown box with
Oh,
the
yeah.
sharpener.
That's
Yeah,
the
Because
box I
I
had.
had to use their sharpener to.
Sharpen
My-
your.
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
use
have
my
been
sharpener.
Oh, you gotta use that
Mine
sharpener to sharpen your 8 box.
Your thin box.
I got
10
my
count
crayons from the dollar store.
Yo,
That's
see,
just-
you definitely
had, like-
won't
You
put the
definitely
dollar
won't put
store
that
crayon
in my.
You
in
know
my
what?
Crayola.
Oh, so okay.
He
so
had
the-
that crown with the wax that
The
comes
wax.
out
The
from
wax
paper.
I
came
couldn't
off.
put my
Yes, Carlos.
colors. I couldn't put my colors in your crown.
Not with the Crayola.
So you know what? This ain't even
What they
right.
call? What were they? Rose? What was it called?
Rose art.
Yeah, rose art. No shade, rose art. Y'all crowns ain't hit like
Not putting
Crayola.
that.
Crayola.
You know what I
No.
mean?
Hey, so Webster's dictionary definition of colorism: prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. I want to add to that though, and tell me what you think. Colorism is a form of discrimination that favors light-skinned members of the same ethnic group. Despite its major impact on communities around the globe, it's been barely discussed. So not many people are talking about it. But, growing up, I used to hear the blacker the berry, the
Sweeter the juice.
sweeter the juice.
They was talking about something else.
They won't talk
What were they
about.
talking about?
Listen, I don't think the Remedy Room. We ain't graduated to that yet. Maybe season 2. Now
I really
off
don't
camera,
know. I'm serious. You can tell me later.
yeah. You don't know for real? Are you playing?
I'm dead serious.
Okay.
She's not trolling. She's serious.
All right, well, I'll put out my list of classes that you can sign up for, and then I'll let you pick the slot.
Okay, gotcha.
Guys,
But-
go ahead, Los.
No, go ahead. Girl. What you was gonna say?
What are y'all thinking? Colorism, is it present day? I mean, is it something that we need to discuss? Is it happening? Is it something that you've experienced in your life? Have you been given certain privileges because you're light skinned? Have you been looked at a certain way because you're darker? Let's talk about it.
It's definitely prevalent.
That's
how you use that word in a sentence.
Okay,
No
I
shade.
got you.
No
I
shade,
got
no
you.
shade.
I got
Guys,
you.
if you're not sure where that reference is from, go back to episode number 6.
Yeah.
You'll see.
And you'll catch what we talking about. But no, I do think it's very it's
Prevalent.
very yeah. Um everywhere you turn you can see it. Like it I feel like those who deny it, maybe I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe those who deny it are those who don't experience any repercussions from colorism. Maybe they are the I don't want to say token, but I guess maybe the ones that get a better experience, if that makes sense. Kind of like in your definition, you were saying the lighter tone
Yeah.
of certain groups, which was funny
Oh,
that
like you.
yeah. So since you want to say that like that, dang. But no, like I mean, out of everybody on here, yeah, I'm the lighter one. But like when you read the definition, it was interesting how it was written because it almost made it sound like in every ethnic background there's a lighter tone. I just started thinking about Caucasians. I was like, is there a lighter tone? But maybe there is. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah. And I want to say they'll say, oh, she's pale.
Right.
Okay,
Which is
I have
why
heard
they,
that before.
you know, they
Or,
would
or this
tan.
person has an olive tone, or
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True.
But you also see it when I guess Caucasians are tanning. They try to get a little darker.
Okay, what was
Don't get
that?
me started on that.
What was that first lady?
She don't want them to tan because
No.
she think they trying to be like that.
Okay.
Okay, why can't you?
Well,
What do they need to tan for? What did they
don't
tan
even worry.
for?
Don't even worry about it. We're gonna go ahead and focus on
Okay.
us.
Oh,
Right?
on the right.
We black and we proud. I think. I know I am. I love being black.
Everybody on
Yeah.
here proud.
Yeah.
Mine. So, what are some of y'all experiences? Have you experienced, or if it wasn't even you personally, have you seen an example of colorism that you just like, that's messed up? You know what I mean?
So on today, I experienced someone else. So I've had an experience, and I've talked about it on the previous podcast.
Yeah. I hope we bring that back up because I think it was episode 4.
Or
Yeah.
We were talking about
And this girl, I was in the beauty supply store, and it was a female in there. She was like my complexion, and she was getting some hair to get braids. Well, she got like a lighter, like a reddish, like brown hair color. Well, she gets it, and she was standing there for a second looking or whatever. Then she asked this random lady, she was like, excuse me, do you think this will be okay with my skin tone? Because, I'm dark skinned, so I don't know if this will match, complement my skin tone. And so to me, if the girl was light skinned, she would have never asked that question. Because lighter skin, you see light skinned girls all the time wearing red, pink, green, blue, purple. And just recently, I've seen an influx of dark skinned girls wearing these different type colors of hair. But when they post, they'll be like, dark skinned girls can do it too. Like, we have to justify that.
okay.
Not only the lighter skinned people can wear, but we can do it too, and it's fine. And so to me, that was an example. And I don't even know if she was aware of what she was doing, but it's just, I can't wear pink hair because I'm dark skinned. So no, you can do whatever you want to do. But that's just the tone that our people have set, that you can't wear red lipstick because you're dark skinned. Like, yeah.
Wow. I'm thinking about, within our own people, as far as, it was, if you were light skinned, you were closer to white, and it seemed like you would get all the breaks. And I think that was stemmed from the slave of the house Negro, and I'm using that word as far as color, and the field Negro, where if you were lighter skinned, you probably worked in the house. If you were darker skinned, you probably worked in the field. And I believe that the colorism kind of probably started there because I think darker skinned people saw that the lighter skinned people were treated a little different. And probably so because maybe the slave master probably impregnated, someone and they came out light skinned. So you knew that there was a coincidence there with their skin being lighter. But
Okay.
then, as growing up, you kind of heard it, oh, he's light skinned or dark skinned, and they would joke on the dark skinned person. I'm saying that they can see them at nighttime, and if I cut the light off, where would you be? Stuff like that. So, but the thing is, why is that so in our psyche that we tear down our all these beautiful shades of color that we have? What caramel, mocha, dark chocolate. We have all these different shades, tan. But it just seems that we tear it down, but we're all the same, all the same. So if y'all can
we
speak to
all
that,
we all black. Like,
Mhm.
so,
yeah,
We all
we
black.
black.
I think you kind of pretty much already answered it. I think it all stems from back in the slavery days, and that resentment has just kind of followed us throughout the years, and it's always been like a war, honestly, between light skin and dark skin. And you can see it, I mean, everywhere you look. I think here recently, within the last, 5 or 10 years, you'll see more darker skinned women as models or in a music video, or things like that. But typically, in a music video, you're going to see light skin, long hair, certain body type over a darker complected woman. So I personally have not experienced colorism, and I don't know that I have intentionally, put that on somebody else or made reference to somebody else's skin tone, unless it was said in a joking manner. Now, whether we should joke about it or not, we can discuss that too. But I don't think I've ever, intentionally tried to make somebody uncomfortable because of their color, their complexion. So.
Gotcha.
You kind of said, well, growing up, so I only had one sister. It was 3 boys and 1 girl. But when my sister would get like Barbie dolls, obviously they didn't make Barbie dolls, back then, to my knowledge, of the dark skin complexion. Now, I know that was more so marketing on a bigger scale. But the thing is, what was that perception like for the ladies in the group, as far as baby dolls, toys that y'all played with? Did you see images that look like you, or did you have to settle for what was marketed out there?
I think, if I remember correctly, Shamika, the Barbie brand made a white Barbie doll and then a brown Barbie doll, but she wasn't a dark complexion. Kind of like the off-brand companies would make a darker complexion Barbie doll, but it wasn't cute, if that makes sense. Like, the features were not.
They didn't have all the accessories for it and everything like that.
Yeah. And
Wow.
even just like it might
just
look,
the way it looked.
Yeah.
They would make it look like
a reject doll.
The doll had been dipped in ashes and then threw some little pink lipstick on the lips, and it's a black doll. Like, why I gotta look like that? Like, why I can't be pretty like you make the white dolls? Or like, it was like one black Barbie for a long time, but she wasn't my complexion.
Right. She was fair. She was like on the lighter end.
Yeah. It's not until recent that Mattel started doing all different types of body types, complexion,
hair.
Hair. Yeah. So yeah, for a long time, it was just, you just had two options with Barbie. You either get a white one or you get the lighter skin Barbie.
Yeah. And even still, I mean, you had to be there like when the stuff first came out to even
Mm-hmm.
get the black Barbie doll because they only made a few. So most of the Barbies I had were white.
They did a limited edition of one, and I still have her to this day, where she had on like this little dashiki, and she had a wrap on, and I took the wrap off, and so they had, her hair was like natural, a little teeny tiny little fro, natural curls, but it wasn't this, it was limited edition, like you had to get it when they put it out, and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, and I'm gonna flip it because y'all were talking about Barbie, so that Barbies, that's way out of my lane. I just know what I saw with my sister and her getting dolls and maybe the Annie dolls and all that stuff like that. But for guys, I want to say this. I grew up feeling a little bad about myself because it seemed like all the girls wanted the light skinned guy.
Mm.
The light skin was in, or the connotation with light skin was pretty boy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you were darker, you were seen as not the pretty boy, maybe closer to the THUG.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a kind of,
Why do you have to spell
I
that?
know, he said like it's
And
like
I'm
a
over here
cuss
like
word.
THUG.
yeah.
Then I
But
was like,
yeah,
wait, did I miss a letter? TUG,
Right.
tug.
so
Lisa
so growing
THG.
up, I mean, all the light skinned guys were winning with the females. But now I think as we get older, now we have the Morris Chestnuts, the Idris Elbas, where women are saying that these guys are what they want to see as far as complexion. But you still have those pockets with the Jesse Williams and all that, and all those guys. But light skin was in when I was in school, so I think I got passed up on a couple of girls because I wasn't light
Oh
skinned.
my god.
Was one of them named
Well,
Mercedes.
Mercedes?
no, her name was BMW.
I don't like that. I thought you were gonna say Lexus. It's more natural.
But I got a Kia.
A Kia, you got a Kia. Well, we thank God they started upgrading cars.
Such a dad joke.
Because
Horrible.
a couple years
Dad
back, baby, it would have been like.
And when I say I got passed up on girls, I don't want to say I got passed up. But I'm saying that I noticed that a lot of girls wanted light skinned guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
And that's the colorism right there. That's
Yeah.
that pinning us against each other.
My gosh.
It's
I don't
the
think
same.
that's pinning. I think that's just personal preference.
For some, I think it's preference, but for I feel like, because my preference is a lighter skinned guy.
Mhm.
However, I don't think dark skinned guys are not attractive. I'm not opposed to, before I was married, dating a dark skinned guy. Just because you're dark skinned, I don't want you, but I think for some people, that's what they see. Oh, he's too dark. So he's cool. His personality cool, but he dark skinned.
Yeah.
And, but put that on a
like
light skinned person and they'd be all over him.
I feel like that wouldn't be, I'm sorry, Carlos, would be more a guy saying, that's all they want is a light skinned female with long hair.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen it from both sides.
It's females out there.
I think it's more so I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot more the females saying they want light skinned guys.
Well, that's because you and your feelings about it still from high school.
Maybe, but I wouldn't say there's more females over guys when it comes to that. But kind of like what Miss Unapologetic was saying, like, I kind of see what Akia was saying. Like, it kind of, there's a fine line between a dislike and preference. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
It's really like it's hard to decipher, in my opinion, because I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some people who probably would see a certain skin color and they be like, nah, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? But some
Mhm.
people that really, they just are attracted to whatever, you know what I'm saying? If it's a
Mhm.
lighter skinned person, I've noticed a lot of dark skinned women do like lighter skinned men.
And
Um,
vice versa.
right.
Yeah.
And I've heard like women talk about like if they had children, they would want their children to come out in between. So that's why they would rather be with a lighter guy. So I mean, but I can see everybody's point as far as like what Arthur was saying. Maybe, you know, maybe light skin was hitting at that time or whatever. But you know,
Mhm.
when
It was that movie Imitation of Life, and I encourage everybody who hasn't seen it to see it. It had Mahalia Jackson singing that song "Trouble of This World,"
mm,
where the mom was the maid. The the maid was darker skinned, but her daughter looked white, but she was
Mhm.
black. She
mm-hmm,
got all the perks in life. She walked through life as she was white. And
okay,
when her
Mhm.
mom would come up to the school, she
Mhm.
acted like she didn't know her,
Mhm.
because her white friends
okay,
didn't know that she was black. So that colorism there, I mean, Imitation of Life is I think a movie that everybody should look at, because it puts everything in perspective as far as how light skinned people back in that time, because of all the Jim Crow and everything like that. If you were lighter skinned, you could probably get by with some things as opposed to your counterpart. So that whole colorism line there, where the feeling of I'm maybe a little bit better than you because I'm
Mhm.
lighter than
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
okay.
as opposed to the dark ones, they were getting sick. The dogs were sick on them. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. So it's been troubling our country for a long time. But now we have this new wave of cyberbullying. We have this new wave of colorism, parts in movies, parts in commercials, and everything like that. So do y'all see that imagery, where they're doing Cover Girl? Do you see the imagery in the magazines as far as, who are getting these roles? And if someone is darker, what kind of roles are they really getting?
You can go ahead.
Mm-mm, go ahead.
I was gonna say I definitely think it's very prevalent in entertainment.
Okay.
It has always been uh, to my remembrance. Um, there's always been an argument about that because a lot of the times, especially when you see musical artists, um, especially when I hear about like the women, a lot of people have the conversation about the lighter skinned girls succeeding more than a darker skinned woman. But it really does, sad to say, it comes down to these companies feeling like they can appeal more to the masses. Um,
Mhm.
it's so interesting to me, and we've seen this in the past year with all this police brutality and all this stuff, right? It's interesting to me. You hear this verbiage of our other counterparts feeling like darker skin is more aggressive.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared, like they
Yeah.
feel
Mhm.
fearful,
Yeah.
and that's it's interesting to me that that's a thing, um, for
No.
whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're absolutely
Um,
right.
I
so,
think, I mean, if we look at like Viola Davis, for example,
mhm.
she's a darker complected woman, but she's doing well. And I wouldn't say that she has like one type of role that she plays. I feel like she can do any role.
Mhm.
True,
She's not in a box.
absolutely true. But then when we get down to finances, they so
Mm-hmm.
quick to call her the blackmail street, but she get paid not even half
Not nowhere
Yeah.
near.
of what
Right.
a
Well,
Meryl Streep would.
Yeah.
that's a bigger issue. I don't think that's just light or dark. That's just she's a black woman in
She's a.
entertainment. I think
Mhm.
that,
Yeah,
all black women are getting
true.
cheated when it comes down to compensation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And now, and let me ask you this: has she been on a movie that has had a star female white counterpart lead as well.
Yes, I can't remember the name of it.
Okay. Because it seems like
I
all
can't
of
remember the
Viola
name.
Davis shows are tailored for her. So there's no like really competition in her competing for stardom within the shows that she's on. She's the lead,
Mhm.
as opposed to you had Kerry Washington, I guess, with Reese Witherspoon. These are two high-powered
Yeah.
females, but
Little fires
obviously,
everywhere. You talking about
yeah,
that one?
yeah. Now, but Kerry Washington is lighter skinned, so see what I'm saying, that role, and obviously Scandal, she was the main character, but she had a lot of white female leads as well, as opposed to How to Get Away with Murder. Viola Davis was the star of that show. So it's kind of one of those things that we got to look deep into this as well. When they pair, actresses together, is one just the single, like Sidney Poitier was, he was the lead in a lot of his roles. What other white counterpart was he with in a show? And that can kind of tell you where he fit on the totem pole as well when it came to finances compared to his white counterparts, I would think.
So are you saying that a lighter complected, is that a word, complected?
Yeah. Go with it.
It's gonna
Okay.
be one today.
Okay. A lighter complected actor or actress they're the only ones that would be paired with another white lead. Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to see what movies, you know, have a darker skinned person paired with a white strong lead.
Well, you can look at, I mean, if talking about Viola Davis, The Help had a lot of,
That's true.
But she was portrayed as a maid. See, the role, see what I'm saying? That was her role, was
you
portrayed
add a lot of
as,
caveats.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, what role was a black person playing in the 60s and 70s and 50s, or in 40s and 20s, or what?
Are we going that far back, or can we go?
But we can, so then we
I
can
wanna
talk
learn.
about Cicely Tyson. She was dark skinned and she was an actress way back.
I was gonna
Then
go to Whoopi Goldberg when she did.
Mhm.
What's that
Yeah.
movie? Well, I mean, you can talk about Sister Act,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I was thinking about the movie with the guy. They went to the sperm bank, all that carrying on. What is that movie? Something America or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of.
But what about, didn't she do Ghost? Wasn't
Yeah,
Citizen
she
Go.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Side note, Akia, that it is a word. Complected is a word.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
I'm trying to
Complected.
tell y'all.
You did.
I all our shades are beautiful. And the thing is, the melanin. Yeah, am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
That I love that hashtag, because the different shades. I just love to see the different shades of black. It's all beautiful to me. I just don't want anyone to think that they're better than someone if they're lighter. That's where I get. I'm like, don't you know that when push comes to shove, you're going to be in the same boat.
We
as
all in the
darkest.
same boat, right? All of us.
And speaking of shades, and since we talked about Crayola, shouts out to Crayola for having the different shades of brown crayon box now.
Crayon marker and color pencils. The minute they dropped
markers. Okay.
Yeah, the minute they dropped, I got them for the girls.
Can we name some shows that are making it their priority to show different shades of people? I know PBS Sesame Street is tried to introduce some new characters that reflect. Do y'all know any others that are?
What kind of shows are you looking for again?
Any kind of shows that are reflecting, different shades as characters. It could have been children's shows, because that's where it all starts. Reaching the children.
Yeah.
I don't watch enough TV. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me see. Children's shows. I think a lot of cartoons are now more inclusive with like having at least one black
Mm-hmm.
character.
Black.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
what's the one? I'm thinking of Little Bill.
You
Little
know
Bill need a
what?
whooping.
Little Bill need a whooping. I didn't
Pop,
mean to
pop.
think about Little Bill.
Not a little
I'm
bit.
thinking about is it Daniel Tiger? Daniel Tiger. Daniel
No.
Yeah,
Tiger, because
Daniel
they
Tiger.
have
Yeah,
the black girl, the
Mm-hmm.
teacher is
yeah,
black.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You're right.
Okay.
So yeah, and then Prince Wednesday is white.
Sid, the science kid.
Sid the science kid.
Yeah.
Now they don't have complexions necessarily, right? Because
Right.
Sid
They
is
just
like orange, isn't he?
yeah, they're just the colors. Like
But he black though.
yeah, he
Sid
is.
is black.
The way he be dancing in the playground.
Sid is black.
Was Bert and Ernie black? I mean, they had some color to them.
No, they
No,
was just orange and
they was
yellow.
just
they
on.
they were
Okay,
like emoji, like how we
Yeah.
have,
okay,
yeah.
All right. We digging too.
okay.
Bert and Ernie.
We're doing too much.
What about the
Um,
children, Carlos? What about the children?
What about them?
I do, but along those lines, I do think it is important to start at an early age as parents, that we have to teach our children that, there is no one complexion better than the other.
Right.
Right.
And to love the skin that they're in. I do think that is important starting at a young age.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, as adults, the issues and the insecurities that we have about our complexion stems from
From
something that
childhood.
someone
Right.
Yeah.
said to us as kids.
When
Mhm.
I was younger, not super young, I'm maybe like middle school. I remember, and I'll never forget this. We were in a store, and me and my mom were in a store, and this lady came up to her, and I'm standing there, and she says, oh, hey, Ann, how you doing? Whatever. Then she goes, how that pretty red girl of yours doing?
Mm.
And
But
so
you were there. You were
I'm
standing there.
standing right
Mhm.
there. And not even that. We got a whole nother sister. Like,
Mhm.
and she wasn't there. So why you didn't, she never asked about anybody else. And then as she kept talking, then she said, oh, hey, Shamika.
Mhm.
I will never forget that. And then I thought, so that's pretty to you? Lighter skin is pretty, so that's worth the let's check on this person. How is she doing? But then the two that are darker skin, Belinda's lighter than me, but she's brown. It's just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Keep it moving. But yeah, I
So
don't know.
let me ask you this. So like when you colored, like growing up, did you color yourself with dark skin?
No, I used the brown crayon.
The
I
brown crayon.
didn't use the black crayon. I used the brown.
I was thinking about that the other day, because Baylor was coloring, and he always colors himself brown, which I love about Baylor. But I was just thinking about myself coloring, and I know I shared on one of the episodes how I, wanted to be white. I don't recall ever coloring myself with brown skin.
Really?
Yeah, I would just leave it. No, I would
No,
just
she leave it white.
Yeah, I would just leave it white.
Brown
Yeah,
skin
I would color
girl,
myself brown.
just like pearls. Shout out to Apple for adding color to their emojis. Now we do have to talk about the family emojis that do not change, because you can't change the color. And I wonder why that is. We do need to talk about that, Apple, because
they're trying to say black people don't have families.
yeah, we gotta fix
Well,
that.
I wouldn't say that, because families, you got to think about interracial families, or people who, like a white couple that may have adopted Black children and vice versa. So it would be hard to.
If you have the technology
Yeah,
to change the colors and everything else and
Yeah.
all that,
Mhm.
you can change a family emoji.
If you can have a
and
ballerina up there dancing, you can find.
It's technology. It's
No,
possible.
No, I think that's going too far.
no, it's
No,
not.
it's
Because-
not.
I think-
If you can customize your individual self, why can't you customize your family?
But
So
y'all,
what you gonna do? Pick out what color the dad's supposed to be, what color the mama, what color the kids?
The same way you hold it down, it pop up and you click.
yeah, you
No,
fine.
y'all doing the most.
But kid,
Uh-uh.
you got to remember, you can't get black from white. You can get white from black. So when we start shading, like the shading is black shades into white. You can't get white shading into black. So you know,
you going over my head a little bit with that.
oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, she must ain't seen. What's that lady name? The white lady used to go around always
Jane
talking.
Elliott.
Jane. She ain't watched Jane.
I went to see Jane live.
Jane tried to tell y'all.
Right.
All of y'all come from us.
She tried to tell y'all.
That's
Yeah.
what she said.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Ain't my words, it's Jane words. I'm just repeating it. That's all I'm saying.
No,
So-
I was just saying I didn't really get the correlation between what Arthur is saying and the emojis.
So pretty much you can find the color. You can find the color that you need. They just don't do it, and it's deliberate. But Apple, this is our charge.
So
to
what
you.
do the
Do it.
family emojis look like? I never used it, so I don't even know. Is it
It's
yellow?
like four of them. Yeah.
So they're not white or black. They're just yellow.
The yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were but the thing is, when you were coloring a white person in school, you used the yellow crown.
Mm-mm.
I didn't.
No.
What
No,
color?
we,
What color
'cause
y'all
we didn't
use?
have to, Arthur. We had the 64 count, so we had peach.
Yeah,
know
we
what?
we used peach.
You
So
had
I
to
would
color yours
color-
yellow.
If I was coloring a white person, it'd be peach. If
It was
if I
peach.
colored me, I would be tan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Now,
I
you
colored
had to
myself
use-
brown. You had to use yellow and black.
You had to
black
use the
colors.
yellow because you only had 8 crayons. So we understand.
Right. You had to mix and match.
What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about people who do text you and they're texting? You know what color they are, but somebody might use darker skin for their fists or whatever color they use. Do you want them to use appropriate skin tones when they text you emojis?
Yes.
Is that a
Yes,
pet peeve
please.
of yours?
Yes,
I want you to use the use the
I've
color you
never-
are.
I never thought about that. Maybe because
I
I've
think
never seen anything out the
you
ordinary.
haven't had to worry about nothing because you light skin.
And
Oh my God.
but listen, so Jess recently, one of Kaylee's friends' mom, we were texting back and forth, and so she is, I don't know if she's Puerto Rican or whatever, but she put sent an emoji of the little muscle or whatever,
Mhm.
and so she used like a brown one. So when I saw it, I was like, come on, like she didn't use the white one because she's not white. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay, come on, brown arm. Like she didn't use
Yeah.
like a dark brown arm, but just the point that she made emphasis of this is
I
my
just would not look into that like that. Maybe
You
I don't.
wouldn't?
I would not. I don't know why. I mean, I haven't seen it happen to me, but I just don't think I would even look at it like, oh,
Well,
he's a brown. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Ever-
But I get it.
and ever since they made a brown heart, I don't know if y'all have noticed. If I ever send y'all a heart emoji,
You
it's
do, and I don't
brown.
like it.
Because I'm brown. So I
Send
send
it
the
red.
brown. I send the brown heart. They made a brown heart. They used to not have a brown heart. So once they added it, that's all I ever use is a brown heart.
Shamika, since we did talk about this in episode 4, do you have any advice or for someone that is a darker skin complexion? I know when you were growing up, you experienced some sort of trauma. Do you have any advice for anyone, any children or anybody that's experiencing that they're darker, but they kind of feel like, oh man, I wish I was a little
No, you
I was
don't.
taller.
You
I
just
wish I
gotta
was a
own
boss.
who you
Wish I had a
are.
girl look good. I would call her.
you just own who you are. You were made for you.
Right.
There's no mistake on your skin color, your personality. That's just who you are. So own it. Be the best you can be. Don't let nobody tell you how you look is ugly. It's not attractive. Be you.
Be you. Well, hey, Kia, First Lady and Mr. Perspective, what can we do as someone? Well, Carlos is on that furthest end of the spectrum.
My God.
And
I almost feel like the white person in the room. Maybe I should get up and go.
what can we do to make our darker skin complexion counterparts feel like that they're wanted and accepted? Because I know a lot of times they get passed up, and that I don't try to do that, but I know it's going on. What can we do to develop that imagery of that we believe that is a beautiful color and we want it on our arm, and everything like that? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Indeed. I mean, I guess it's like what you just said. I think it's just show and prove. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to show it to the masses, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know how to facilitate that conversation to be like, hey guys, y'all should really embrace darker skinned people for this reason. I don't know what to say exactly, but kind of like what you were saying, like have it on your arm. I love brown skin, dark skin for sure, right? So I don't know, other than just, I don't know. It still just, to me, comes down to preference. But if we go further, like into workspaces and things like that, I don't know. I feel like it has to be an overhaul of understanding. Like, I don't know if it take classes. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know.
I would say, I think in 2021, and we've seen it the last couple of years, again, everybody seems to be embracing their complexion.
Mm-hmm.
You see, we're pro melanin. There are a lot of like nude pumps, for example, nude heels that are designed for every complexion of a Black woman.
Right.
Same thing with undergarments for us that would be considered nude. You can find all the shades. Makeup
Even
companies.
Band-Aids.
Yes,
Yeah,
Band-Aids.
Mm-hmm.
Makeup companies now have a wide range of foundation colors. So I think we are, as a whole, starting to be
go
more
in the right direction.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
Good.
and I think also, we don't want white people to say when they look at us they don't see color, but I think that is appropriate for us as Black people, that we shouldn't look at somebody and say, put a caveat, oh, you're dark skinned, oh, you're light skinned, oh, you're pretty for a dark skinned person. Like, that's the kind of language that we have to stop. And I think if we eliminate our mouths from saying it, then other people will realize, okay, well, she's beautiful, period.
Right.
You don't have to add, she's beautiful, she's light skinned, she's beautiful, she's dark skinned, she's beautiful, she's just beautiful, that's it.
Right.
So we have to just change our language and wording.
And
I love how you put that.
Stop calling us. Okay, so as a whole, we consider ourselves Black people, which is fine, but stop referring to, like, I hear people say, if they're describing, oh, she Black, like in a derogatory way, like
Are you speaking on like darker skin?
Yeah, like if somebody was describing me and Shanika, no, that real Black girl, like that, to me, I don't like that, like that, because you're saying like, oh, she's Black, she real Black and it's ugly, and like, no, like, you don't ever hear anybody say, oh, she light skinned, like, it's oh, she light skinned and she did, it's more of a pleasant,
it's a softer tone.
Yeah,
Wow.
like, oh, she a red bone, or
yeah. So
Yellow.
Shamika, let me ask you this, Miss Unapologetic. What does it mean to you when you hear that term that Kia just talked about? Oh, she's pretty for a dark skinned girl. What does that mean to you? What do you think they're really saying?
That my features are pretty, not my skin color.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have a nice eye shape, or my nose is, a nice shaped nose, or your smile, your lips are, full, whatever. But your color, the color of your body is awful. But so
Wow.
you're pretty to be dark skinned.
That's interesting because I
Wow.
would never feel that. I mean, I just feel like if somebody in general says, "Oh, she's beautiful," then in general they're talking about their features and not their complexion.
But it was
I
a
feel like that's the
caveat
whole
to it.
package.
Yeah,
If you say somebody's pretty, you just like them as a whole package, the whole person.
Right.
But when you say you're pretty to be dark skinned, you're saying you're pretty as a dark skinned girl. Typically dark skin isn't pretty, but you're one of those that's pretty to be dark.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because you don't hear that in any other. You don't hear
Right.
nobody say, "Oh, you're handsome for a light skinned guy."
Yeah.
Nobody
Yeah,
says
I've
that.
never
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
that.
Like that's not a thing.
Hey, we got to stop saying that. If you're listening to the Remedy Room, and we've been on, check us out on our podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, everything. We're on all major platforms. If you're listening to this, it doesn't matter what color you are, as long as his blood was red.
So
go-
true.
we got to stop saying that. We got to start formulating black is beautiful. Everybody say
Period.
it with me. Black
Black is beautiful.
Come on, class. See, it's always the light skinned one that say it last.
Because they don't have to.
Hey yo, stop playing on this good video now.
They don't have to. Privilege. That's that privilege.
It's that light skin
Here we go. Listen, I'm gonna say this now. I didn't pick the skin I'm in.
Oh,
I'm just saying, y'all attacking me now.
I one thing when you just said that, I do love those memes or those Instagram videos where it's like a guy gave me a dash of this, and they're using like water. They use a little, and like for pretty they use a bucket, something like that. I love those. So let's just do that with it. We're all beautiful in God's eyes. Red and yellow, black and white. We are all precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world.
These Sunday school rhymes,
but they mean something. We got to bring those back, because that's where I learned to not look at everybody's color as a form of you're just pretty for a dark skinned girl, or you're.
The next time somebody tell me that I'm a popper, I just want the world to know. The next person, I don't care if you 2, I don't care if you 85. You getting popped.
You getting popped. You said you wish you would have fought somebody back in the day.
My goodness.
All right then.
Hey, we about to wrap this up, but listen, guys, just remember, it doesn't matter what color you are, right? We're all beautiful. Hey, while you're searching for your remedy, remember, you don't always have to be right.
Be open to a new perspective.
Put yourself first.
Live your life unapologetically.
If you don't, she gonna throw them hands. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Cannot.